what we're going to look at today actually the impact atau the effect of acquisition and also disposal, and how we should prepare, how that the transaction will be affected in the process of preparing the consolidated statement of cash flow. Okay, so with regards to the statement of cash flow itself, you have been gone through this very thorough in your FAR 510. I'm not going to discuss about statement of cash flow. I just want to highlight what will be the effect of the acquisition and disposal towards preparation of consolidated statement of cash flow. Okay, so in general, there are three activities that we need to focus on: operating, investing, and financing. Okay, so for the operating activities, the first one, operating activities. Okay, so remember, in order to prepare the cash flow, there are two approaches. The first one, we call it direct method or indirect method. Okay, regardless which method that being used for the operating activities, the outcome or the total net cash flow which arrive from operating activities would be the same. Gunalah kaedah apa pun, direct ke, indirect ke, total net cash flow from operating activities would be the same. Okay, so what's the difference between direct and indirect method? Okay, so the significant or the differences of these two approaches only can be seen from the operating activities, because these approaches were not affected in financing and also investing activities. Okay, for the direct method, there are three components that we need to look into. Okay, so maknanya for direct method, we are focusing on three elements. The first one is cash receipt from customer. Number two, cash paid to supplier. And number three is cash paid to employees and other expenses. Why for the indirect method? What we need to do, actually, we need to adjust the net profit before taxation to arrive what will be the total net cash flow from operating activities. Okay, so for the indirect method, I will explain to you what the steps involved. For direct method, you can see here, you need to find out how much cash received from customer, cash paid to supplier, and also cash paid to employees or other expenses. Okay. Before we go in detail about indirect method, which the one that we are going to focus on today, let's look at the second activities, which is investing activities. Okay, so I'm not going to highlight the whole line item or item that's supposed to be listed or presented under investing activities, because you should know already what are the items or components of investing activities. Okay, remember saya kata tadi, saya tunjuk the effect of the acquisition and disposal in the process of preparing the consolidated statement of cash flow. Under investing activities, there are three elements that should be included, okay, with regards to the acquisition and also disposal. Number one, I put in red color, acquisition in subsidiary or associate. Okay, number two, okay, is opposite from number four, okay, which is disposal of subsidiary or associate. And number six is dividend received from associate by holding company. Okay, so these three items, any element with regards to acquisition or subsidiary or associate, disposal, and also dividend received from associate should be put under investing activities. Okay, yang lain ni you should know lah. Okay, next, financing activities are two elements, okay, yang related to the acquisition and also disposal of subsidiary or associate, which are, okay, dividend paid to NCI, okay, amount subsidiary bayar kepada NCI because subsidiary is investee. Okay, dia akan declare dividend. Dividend should be distribute to holding as well as to NCI. Dividend paid by holding. Ni berapa dividend declare ataupun paid by holding company. Okay, 2 saja. Tak ada 3. Okay, maknanya very small effect saja dalam cash flow. Jadi, you nak ketambah 3 item under investing, 2 item under financing. Okay, yang lain tu sepatutnya you gauge from your prior knowledge yang you dah belajar masa 510. Okay, kita tak ada nak repeat yang tu. Ingat buka balik nota 510. Okay, so dividend paid by subsidiary or associate. For the subsidiary, dividend paid by subsidiary to parents, okay, there's no involving any outflow or inflow. Okay, tak ada. Dia ada cash paid, maknanya cash outflow lah. Tapi sebenarnya tak ada cash outflow. Okay, berlaku sebab cash tu still lagi within the group. Sebab that one is intercompany transaction. However, dividend paid by subsidiary to NCI is a cash outflow from a financing activities. And then for the associate, wherever dividend paid by associate to parents ataupun wherever dividend received from associate will be considered as cash inflow from an investing activities. Sebab tu yang nilai ni kita masukkan nilai dia dalam cash flow. Dalam cash flow hanya item yang ada melibatkan inflow and outflow. Tapi kita tak ada pun dividend paid by parents to by subsidiary to parents. Kita tak ada. Kita cuma recognize dividend paid to NCI, dividend paid by associate sahaja. Okay, you remember tadi dividend paid to NCI, dividend paid by holding, satu lagi dividend received from associate. Okay, next. Okay, this is regard to acquisition or disposal during the year. Okay, for the associate, any inflow or outflow. Inflow tu kalau dia acquired, dispose, inflow maknanya dispose, dapat duit. Outflow kalau dia kita acquire acquisition. Okay, bila kita acquire acquisition, kita buat investment, duit keluar. Kalau dispose, duit masuk. Okay, sebab proceed from disposal. Okay, so wherever inflow or outflow arising from the disposal of acquisition should be disclosed as part of investing activities. Tadi dah tunjuk dah tadi kan? Acquisition of associate dan juga disposal of associate should be under investing activities. For the subsidiary, okay, sama juga, and inflow and outflow arising from the disposal and acquisition, dia kata the net cash flow from the transaction should be disclosed as cash flow from investing activities. Okay, so untuk subsidiary kita dapatkan nilai net cash flow. Okay, bukan cash flow saja, but would be net cash flow. Kenapa net cash flow? Sebab bila kita deal dengan subsidiary, okay, kita akan deal juga dengan fair value net asset of subsidiary upon acquisition as well as disposal. Okay, so bila kita invest in subsidiary, okay, mana kita acquired control. Okay, maknanya bukan on this one kita tengok kita acquire ordinary share sahaja. But now, in terms of fair value of net asset of subsidiary at DOA, bukan sahaja inclusive of share and other reserve, but also now can be inclusive of asset and liability. Okay, so acquisition tu, fair value net asset tu bukan hanya boleh kita measure dari segi ordinary share dan juga reserve, but also daripada asset dan liability. Sebab tu untuk subsidiary kita dapatkan net cash flow. Okay, jangan ambil, okay, dia kata dia invest banyak ni. Tak boleh ambil nilai tu bulat-bulat. Kena dapatkan nilai net investment. Itu juga dengan disposal. Tak boleh ambil proceed on disposal, tapi mesti net proceed of disposal. That one for subsidiary. Okay. Boleh kelas? Okay. Next we move on to question. Okay. Alright. So remember tadi saya kata fair value net asset. Okay. This is accounting equation. Okay, lama tak belajar accounting equation. Okay, asset equal to liability plus capital. Okay. So bila kita kata asset equal to liability plus capital, bila seorang tanya, what will be the fair value of net asset? So dia mesti jawab, asset tolak liability. Betul, asset tolak liability equal to capital. Okay, but it depends on the question. All this while, fair value net asset of subsidiary, okay, fair value of net asset kita based on capital because we don't have element asset and liability. So capital ni kita ada dua komponen, okay, which is share dan juga reserve. Sebab ini adalah owner's equity, okay. Ini adalah reserve. Ini adalah equity. Okay, saya buat E owner's equity. Okay, OE, owner's equity. So owner's equity can inclusive of share dan juga reserve. Yang tu yang kita selalu buatlah reserve, sama ada pre ataupun revaluation on DOA. Okay, kalau you still remember lah nak cari fair value net asset of subsidiary. Dalam cash flow, kita tak ada elemen ni. Okay, soalan tak bagi beritahu pada on DOA berapa nilai pre. Dia tak beritahu. Tapi dia bagi kita information on asset and liability. So, kita mesti boleh calculate what will be the fair value net asset of subsidiary at DOA menggunakan information asset and liability. Okay, so normally soalan akan bagi statement bergantung ya. Sometimes soalan bagi dua statement which is SOPI dan juga SOPER. Tapi ada juga soalan bagi tiga statement which is SOPI, SOPER dan juga SOCHE. We highlight nanti what's the significant ada dua ataupun tiga. Okay, so ini adalah financial position. Okay, mesti bagi dua for 2 consecutive period. Okay, so look at here, tengok SOPER. SOPER ni adalah yang current year. Okay, so our current period ended 30th June 2017. Okay, sebab soalan ni soalan June 18. So tahun ni 17 lah. Okay, so ni maknanya 30th June 2017, this is current year. Okay, this is previous year. So previous year maknanya this is opening. Last year akan jadi opening kepada current year. So current year will be, this is closing balance. Okay, closing balance. Last year will be opening balance for the current period. Okay, so bila kita tengok kat sini, okay, jawapan untuk soalan ni dah ada dah pun. Jawapan ni adalah 20-50. Okay, ni jawapan you nanti. Okay, sebab tu wherever cash and cash equivalent should be exclude. Okay, kita excludekan sebab dia adalah jawapan. So jawapan nanti bila prepare cash flow, you mesti dapat net cash flow at the end of the year will be 20,500. Ini adalah dia punya nilai akhir tahun. Ini nilai awal tahun. Okay, so apa yang kita kena buat nanti ada step dia lah. First kita nak prepare ledger. Bila prepare ledger, kita kena exclude whatever item cash dan juga cash equivalent. Okay. Settle, so apa ada masalah, so check, okay settle. Now let's move on to additional information. Okay, additional information. Okay, yang ni ikut. Sekejap Okay, additional information. Okay, kata the administrative expenses for the year ended, okay, include depreciation expenses, impairment of investment in associate, impairment of goodwill, and also gain of disposal of plant. Okay, depreciation is given 3.5 million. Impairment in associate 500,000. Impairment of goodwill tak ada jawapan begitu juga. Ada yang ni kena cari juga. Gain on disposal of plant. Okay, so tengok je administrative expenses inclusive of 4 component. Ada 4. Nilai ni ada 4 item. So nanti bila kita prepare kita prepare cash flow, kita kena detail out. Okay, administrative expenses ni jangan ambil lump sum. So kita kena tunjuk dia punya impairment. Okay, on goodwill. Dia punya impairment. Apa ni? Of associate, depreciation dan juga gain on disposal. Okay. Yang mana ditambah 4-4 ni dapat nilai dia 39500. Okay. Itu yang pertama. Okay. So, ya dulu, nanti dicari kemudian. Okay. Yang tapi kita tak, for sure dia dah dapat dah depreciation ada kat sini dengan impairment on in investment of associate. Okay. Information number 2. On 1st August 2016, kita punya financial year ended 30th June. Okay, maknanya kita mula pada opening balance kita pada 1816. 1st August 16, a building of Eden which is situated in Bangi, Selangor was revalued for the first time, resulting in a deficit. Okay. So, sometimes guna surplus, sometimes guna deficit. Okay, kalau surplus maknanya undervalue. So, deficit will be overvalued. Okay. So, deficit maksudnya overvalued. Okay, so journal entry dia adalah, okay. So, kita akan debitkan. Okay, sebab itu overvalue. So kita kena debitkan ARR, kreditkan PPE. Okay, 3 million. Okay, boleh? Okay, itu yang pertama. Then we move on to yang kedua. During the year, a plant with a carrying value of 8 million was sold for 10.5 million. Ya, disposal. Bila kita dispose, dapat duit. Debit bank. Okay, 10.5 million. Okay, bila kita dispose, aset kita kena buang. So, kredit PPE. Berapa nilai carrying value aset kita? 8 million. Okay. Next, so perbezaan dia. Perbezaan kita compare kan selling price tolakkan dengan carry amount ataupun carry value. Selling price dijual pada 10.5. Carrying value dia adalah 8. So berapa nilai gain? Gain lah because selling price is greater than CA. Berapa gain? Berapa gain? 2.5. So credit gain 2.5 million. Okay. Next, number 4. A new machinery was acquired by Eden during the year at its fair value of 1 million. Okay. New acquisition of machine. So debitkan PPE. Okay, 1 million. Kreditkan pembayarannya adalah melalui issuing of share. So credit ordinary share capital 1 million. Okay, number 5. Okay, on 1st July 16th. Okay, 1st July 16. Okay, ni August, July. Okay, Eden acquired 80% interest. Okay. So, sorry. Ini 6. So, 1/7. Sorry. Yang ni 1/7. Saya pun salah ya. Kita punya opening adalah pada 1/7. Okay. So, sekarang ni kita tengok dia punya ni item number 5 on 1st July 2016. Maknanya pada awal tahun Eden acquire 80% interest in new subsidiary nama dia Min Berhad. The consideration transferred for the acquisition was satisfied through the issuance of 10 million unit of shares for 50 million ringgit and cash consideration of 3 million. Okay, since Eden acquired, the percentage is more than 50%, so Min become a subsidiary. So kita sini 80%, NCI 20%. Okay, so CT dia, amount CT adalah, dia kata by issuing shares 15 million plus cash 3 million. So total CT is 80 million. Okay, kita debitkan, this is investment, debitkan investment in subsidiary, kreditkan only share capital, kreditkan cash. Okay, ni totalnya lah 80 million, debitkan only share capital is 15 million, this one is 3 million. Boleh? Boleh kelas? Okay. So, investment ni adalah melalui ni asset dan liability. Okay. So, dia bagi kita total asset 11.6 and then total liability 1,000. So, soalan ni bagus sebab dia dah bagi total for asset and also total for liability. Kalau tak bagi, you all kena total sendiri. Okay. So, kita nak cari apa ni? Nak cari value of net asset. So, asset tolak liability. Dapatlah fair value net asset of subsidiary which is Min. Okay, so nilainya adalah sebanyak 11.6 minus dengan 1 million. Dapat berapa ni? 10.6 million. Betul? Betul?
Betul.
Okay. So bila Eden acquired Min, dia akan dapat semua item ni, asset and liability. So journal entry-nya kita akan buat. Okay. Debitkan asset. Satu-satulah, debitkan PPE, debitkan inventory, debitkan receivable, debitkan bank. Okay. Dan kita akan dapat juga goodwill. Okay. Kenapa goodwill class? Sebab soalan ni dah beritahu dah. Ada impairment on goodwill. Maknanya bila kira nanti determine goodwill or bargain purchase, wajib dapat goodwill. Okay. Kreditkan liability sebab dia juga dapat liabilities. Okay, bila ada goodwill mesti ada NCI. Dalam goodwill ada NCI. And then kita akan kreditkan investment in subsidiary. Ini journal entry untuk fair value net asset. Okay. So, masuklah. Ini just nak tunjuk dah journal entry dia. So, mudah nanti kita nak transfer dalam ledger. Okay. NCI menggunakan partial goodwill. Okay. NCI gunakan partial goodwill. Okay. So, first kali, sebelum kita pergi menjawab soalan, okay, this is soalan on acquisition. Nanti, during your hari raya holiday, okay, dapatkan soalan February 2021, question number 2. This one is on disposal of subsidiary. For information setakat ni, so far tak pernah keluar on associate. Yang keluar semua on subsidiary sebab mudah sikit. Okay, kalau associate tu banyaklah kerenah dia, nak kena kira share lah. Okay, so far acquisition or disposal on subsidiary. Okay, selalunya. Jadi saya nak you all cuba buat on disposal. So you be opposite dengan apa yang kita discuss hari ni. Okay, sebab kita tak ada masa kelas, Monday tak ada kelas. Still lagi hari raya kedua. Okay? No, hari raya kedua. Betul? Isnin hari raya kedua. Okay? So, kita cuma ada satu slot lagi, 1 hour. So, that 1 hour kita discuss on direct approach. Okay? So, yang ni kena buat. Suka tak suka kena buat. Nanti kalau soalan keluar, you tak tahu nak buat. Okay? Alright. So, dah settle ni. This is acquisition sebab information number 5 kata Eden acquired. So, bila ada acquisition, mesti wajib determine goodwill. Okay, dalam soalan ni kita akan dapat wajib dapat goodwill. Kenapa wajib dapat goodwill? Sebab information number 1 dah cakap dah. Find out how much impairment of goodwill. Missing value ni, impairment of goodwill. Maknanya jawapan kita mesti goodwill. Alright, CT 18 tambah NCI 20%. Kaedah partial minus fair value net asset of subsidiary at DOA. Okay, fair value at the DOA. Nilainya dah dapat 10.6 million. Tolak 10.6 million kali ke atas dengan 20%. Dapat berapa kelas? How much we get? %20 times 10.6. How much?
2.12.
2.12. 18 plus 2.12 minus 10.6. How much goodwill?
9.52.
9.52 million. So remember, tengok balik journal entry ni, information yang kita nak asset, liability, goodwill, NCI. Okay, investment tak perlulah. Okay, so daripada sini kita akan ingat nanti. Okay, so asset, ni semua asset, liability, this is all liability, goodwill, ini memang goodwill, NCI 2.12. Okay, so amount yang saya betik hijau ni kita akan masukkan dalam ledger. Okay, so consider done. Kita go through the question, kita faham dah soalan ni on acquisition, kita dah take note all the adjustment. Okay, dan kalau tengok kat sini, okay, kita still lagi tak tahu what be impairment of goodwill, tak tahu. But gain on disposal of plant, information number 3. Betul? Disposal, a plant was sold. So, gain dia berapa kelas? Jawapan kita 2.5 million. Betul? Dapat dah? 2.5 million. So tinggal impairment of goodwill saja belum dapat. Okay, dah settle. Then baru pergi step number 1. Okay, ni step number 1. Apa step number 1? Okay, transfer opening and closing balance. Okay, untuk apa ni? Untuk account Shopee. Okay, tengok soalan Shopee. Okay, opening and closing. Kita ada 2017, 2016. 2016 it will be opening balance. 2017 will be closing balance. Okay, saya tak susun ni, saya lupa nak susun ikut. So, actually kalau calculate balik, daripada property, ni, daripada awal, ni, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mesti ada 10 T account. Okay. So saya tunjuk kat sini. Yang pertama, PPP. PPP tak. Jadi macam dia PPP. Price parity price theory. Parity yang maaf 603 lupa dah, PPP dengan IRP. Okay. Price purchasing parity. Betul. Purchasing price parity. Betul. PPP theory. Okay. PPE. Okay. Opening and closing. Dah masukkan. Okay. Next investment in associate dan dah masukkan. Okay, ini semua masuk dalam opening and closing. Jangan salah pula. Kalau asset, opening dia debit, closing dia credit. Liability, opening dia credit, closing dia debit. Reserve dengan capital pun sama. Okay, macam liability, opening dia mesti credit, closing dia sebelah debit. Okay, goodwill. Okay, saya tunjuk kat you all. Okay, saya dah buat ni satu-satu. Okay, dan next inventory. Where's inventory dan account receivable. Rasanya kat atas tadi account receivable, tak ada kat bawah. Account receivable. Cash at bank tak perlu because that one is your answer. Kalau ada cash equivalent pun tak perlu because it's also your answer. Ordinary share capital. Dan retained profit. Dan NCI dan NCI equity yang lupa, opening dia mesti credit, closing dia debit. Accounts payable dan tax payable. Accounts payable tak ada jumpa lagi, tax payable dan so accounts payable. So in total semuanya ada 10 ledger account saya dah buat. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Itu step number 1. For your information, masa buat ni tak ada markah. FOC sahaja. So jangan ingat ada markah ni, tak ada markah lagi. Sebab tu kena buat cepat-cepat. Jangan nak draw, nak colour ke, tak ada markah kat sini. Ingat tu, hanya semata-mata working saja. In case nilai yang you masukkan dekat cash flow you salah, dan kita akan refer on this part, dekat working. But we are not looking at this first. We are looking at your straight away. Nak marking, tengok dekat cash flow. Kat sini ada figure, dekat cash flow kosong. Tak sempat nak transfer. Kosong markahnya. Jangan main. Banyak kerja nak buat ni. Ni soalan terakhir ni. So betul-betul kena strategize masa. Step number 2. Nak transfer adjustment. Ni saya ajar step by step. Step number 2, kita pergi balik dekat adjustment, kita buat journal entry tadi. Yang pertama, kita pergi number 2 dulu yang ada journal entry, yang satu tak ada. Number 2, account yang ada saja yang kita transfer. Credit PPE 3 million dan number 3, account PPE 8,000 dan remember ni debit bank, credit gain. Gain tu maknanya retain gain tu maknanya P&L. P&L. Lepas tu P&L. Maknanya gain masuk dalam this is income. Okay, income dia masuk dalam P&L. Bukan yang return profit Return profit kita tu adalah the total. Dia dalam P&L. Okay, P&L 2.5 and credit PPE. PPE ada kat sini. Number 4, debit PPE 1 million. Credit ordinary share capital. Ordinary share capital credit. Okay, next number 5, debit investment. Tak ada account investment. Credit ordinary share capital ada 15,000. Nampak saya tak sini? Acquisition in subsidiary. Ataupun you boleh letak kat sini investment in subsidiary. Better tak acquisition lah. Okay. And then bank tak ada account. Itu saja. Next, kita pergi dekat item fair value of net asset of min. All the asset, liability, goodwill dan juga NCI. Kita pergi satu-satu. Kan? Journal entry dia mesti debit asset, debit goodwill, credit liability, credit NCI. Okay. Asset, acquisition of subsidiary 8,000. Inventory, item number 2. Ini semua under semua information number 5. Inventory debit 1,002. Account receivable 1,000. Cash tak ada account cash, so ignore. Taxation payable. Taxation payable, liability, credit, acquisition of subsidiary 400. Accounts payable 400. 600. Dan itu baru asset dan liability. Goodwill. Goodwill among goodwill 9.52. Okay. Pergi account goodwill. Mana goodwill? Ni 9.52. Acquisition of subsidiary. Okay. Yang with regards to acquisition, semua item tu dia punya descriptive acquisition in subsidiary. Okay. NCI. Okay. NCI. Pergi under NCI. Okay, acquisition credit 2120. Inilah yang kita calculate tadi. Okay, dah settle adjustment dan kita pergi balik dekat nombor 1 tadi, figure yang dah diberi nombor 1. The administrative expenses include depreciation expenses. Okay, depreciation akan mengurangkan account PPE. Okay. Ni PPE 3,500. Okay, journal entry dia debitkan apa? Kan? PPE depreciation akan mengurangkan account asset. Okay. Next, impairment of investment in associate. Impairment. Okay, investment is an asset. Impairment mengurangkan investment. Okay, mana investment in associate? Nampak? Impairment 500. Lepas tu kita ada apa? Gain on disposal. Dia tak ada kat sini gain on disposal. Okay, tak ada sebab dia lah item dalam shopper. Okay, and then impairment of goodwill on consolidation. Okay, pergi kat goodwill. Tengok, semua dah betik. Yang turquoise color ni ataupun yang biru ni adalah opening balance and closing balance. Yang kuning ni adalah transaction from adjustment. Okay, dah dapat dah nilai kat sini. Balancing figure 11,520 adalah amount impairment. Okay, credit goodwill maknanya impairment, mengurangkan goodwill. 11,520. Dan dah settle semua item, dah semua yang question mark semua dah dapat figure. Next, kita pergi shopper pula. Tadi Shopee. Dah transfer semua Shopee. Now shopper. Okay, shopper kita mula daripada awal. Revenue, tak ada account. Cost of sales, tak ada T account. Next, kita dapat item share of profit from associate. Okay, pergi ke item investment in associate. Alright. If you look at back dalam shopper, item ini tambah. Okay. Kalau dalam profit and loss dia tambah, journal entry mesti credit shopper. Betul kelas? Betul? Betul? Dia ada credit shopper. Maknanya kalau credit shopper, debit investment in associate 2,000. Yang warna hijau adalah item daripada shopper. Next, deficit on revaluation of building. Dia kat sini kredit. Dia adalah negatif, tolak. Bila tolak, dia ada expenses. Kalau expenses, debit shopper. Debit shopper, kredit PPE. Okay, tengok PPE. Dah ada dah. Okay, revaluation dah record dah ada. Okay, next. Item apa lagi? Administrative expenses. Dah settle dah tadi. Information number 1 dah masuk semua. Next, kita pergi finance cost. Adakah account finance cost kat sini? Tak ada. So, biarkan. Tax expenses. Tax expenses. Tax payable ni sama juga dengan account tax expenses. Kalau ada tax payable dengan tax expenses, combinekan sahaja. Boleh? Boleh kelas? Account expenses dengan account liability, combinekan sahaja. Begitu juga dengan account interest expenses dengan interest payable, combinekan sahaja. Okay? So tax expenses, ini adalah expenses. So maknanya debit P&L, shopper, debit shopper, kredit tax, account tax. Okay, 5,000. Okay, dah settle. Next, pergi lagi profit after tax attributable. Bila kata tax attributable, inilah amount yang kita perlu bagi dekat equity of parents dan juga NCI. Maknanya dia akan menambahkan parents punya retain profit dan juga NCI punya retain profit. Okay. So kalau retain profit tambah maksudnya kredit. Okay, pergi dekat retain profit. Retain earning, kredit 24,320. Profit attributable, maknanya akan allocation untuk retain earnings, and then allocation for NCI. Okay, sebelah kredit 2,600. So habis, dah tak ada dah. Okay, done. Okay, so done. Okay, so apa yang kita buat sekarang ni adalah kita akan balancekan ledger account. Okay, dalam step number 2 ni. Okay, so bila balance kan, tengok yang betik ni maknanya kita dah ambil kira. Yang biru ni adalah opening and closing balance. So, perbezaan yang kita dapat kat sini semua adalah cash. So, cash sebelah debit. PPE tengok semua betik. Cash kat sini. Okay, investment associate, cash. So untuk investment associate, cash kat sini adalah representing dividend receive. Ordinary share capital pun ada missing value, cash, cash sebelah kredit. Okay. Benda ni kalau use betul-betul strategize, sekejap saja siap. Bukan setakat siap, tapi siap dengan tepat. Okay. Yang ni cash dividend paid. Okay. And then inventory pun ada kat sini cash. Semua item ni kecuali balancing figure dia, remaining balance dia. Missing value. Cash and cash. Okay, return earning, dividend paid. Okay, kalau tadi NCI, dividend paid juga. Okay, kalau associate, dividend receive. Okay, dah siap. Okay, so saya share dengan you all. Okay, solution yang ni. Saya share. So that you ada reference untuk kita prepare cash flow. Saya bagi yang bersih punya. Dapat? Boleh kelas? Dapat?
Dapat madam.
Okay. So sekarang kita nak prepare dia punya cash flow, kaedah indirect method. Bila kita nak prepare indirect method untuk operating activities, remember tadi saya kata beza antara indirect dengan direct. Kalau direct kita ada 3 komponen kena cari tadi. Cash paid to customer, cash paid, cash receive cash receive from customer, cash paid to supplier, cash paid for cash paid to employees and other expenses. But for indirect approach, okay, kita akan adjust net profit before tax. Okay, so macam mana kita nak adjust? Ada 3 step. Yang pertama, kita akan buat reversing. Reversing apa? Kita akan reverse expenses. Kalau dalam shopper kita tolak, dalam cash flow kita tambah. Income dalam shopper kita tambah, dalam cash flow kita tolak. Itu panggil reversing. Itu yang step yang number 1 under operating. Step number 2, kita akan adjust working capital. Okay, cari changes in working capital. Adjusting lah. Okay, kita adjustkan. Okay, apa yang kita perlu ada 3 komponen yang representing changes in working capital, iaitu item inventory, trade receivable and trade payable. Okay, kita bukan setakat cari amount dia, the changes, but also the indicators, sama ada dia increase ataupun decrease. Okay, dia punya changes. Bukan setakat amount saja, tapi juga dia punya indicator sama ada the changes itu increase ataupun decrease. Yang ketiga, kita akan tolak dengan interest dan juga interest paid dan juga tax paid. Itu step yang ketiga. Okay, so alright. Saya dah ada jawapan kat sini. Okay. So ini adalah statement of cash flow. Okay, kita guna indirect method. Kita akan mula dengan profit before tax, figure daripada shopper. Profit before tax 31920. Okay, ini nilai dia. Okay, ni adjustment. Saya kata dia ada 3 step. Step number 1, kita akan buat reversing. Okay, so yang ni saya tak susun ikut turutan, tapi saya akan explain ikut turutan, ikut dalam soalan. So you can refer to your question. Okay, kita nak reverse item ni, item expenses dan juga income. Yang pertama dalam soalan, dia letak kat situ, share of profit from associate, ini adalah income. So dekat sini kita tolak, reverse. Yang kedua, deficit on revaluation of building, tolak. Kat sini kita tambah. Administration expenses. Jangan ambil lamsam, pergi detail dia, information number 1. Depreciation is expenses, tambah. Impairment on investment in associate is expenses, tambah. Impairment of goodwill. Okay, 11,520 daripada ledger tadi dapat nilai dia. Okay, ni expenses, tambah. Okay, gain on disposal is income. So, tolak 2,500. Okay, and then jangan lupa tambahkan juga dengan finance cost ataupun interest cost. Interest expenses ataupun finance cost. Mesti ada ketambah kat sini. Okay, lepas tu kita akan tolak balik. Interest amount yang ni, 80 ni kita akan tolak balik. Tapi ketambah dahulu dekat under operating activities. Dah settle step number 1. Reversing. Lepas tu kita pergi kepada changes ataupun adjusting net working capital. Okay, net working capital ada 3 item. Inventory, account receivable dengan payable. Okay, always remember. Kalau figure sini betul, Dekat sini salah. Figure mesti tally dengan description yang you bagi. Kalau kat sini you kata decrease tapi kat sini figure you tak betul pun salah. Dia mesti sini betul, sini betul. Okay. Kita tengok pergi dekat account dia, inventory. Tengok you punya account inventory. Okay. Cash sebelah kredit. Betul kelas? 4,200. Betul? Betul? Okay. So, apa journal entry kat sini? Debit. Jadi inventory kredit. So, debit cash. Kredit inventory. Betul kelas? Betul? Ini kredit inventory. Debit cash. Bila debit cash maknanya duit inflow, duit bertambah. Kredit inventory. Inventory is an asset. Maknanya inventory kurang. Betul? Account receivable pula. Sama juga. Debit cash. Kredit account receivable. Cash, debit cash. Cash inflow. Duit masuk bertambah. Account receivable. Kredit. Pengurangan. Decrease. Next, account payable. Okay. Yang merah ni sebelah debit. So, debit accounts payable. Credit cash. Cross reference dia. Kalau sini cash dia sebelah debit, maknanya kat account cash mesti credit. Okay. Account payable is a liability. Liability kalau bertambah mesti credit. Ni debit, maksudnya pengurangan. Okay. Ni cash. Cash credit, cash outflow. Duit kurang ataupun duit keluar. Okay, macam mana nak transform ni? Okay, kita ambil yang pertama. Inventory tadi. Duit bertambah, maknanya tambah. Okay, inventory kurang. So, apa yang saya buat kat sini adalah decrease tambah. 4,200 positif tambah. Okay. Next, account receivable. Duit tambah. Account receivable decrease. Account receivable decrease. Tambah. Okay. Kita tahu tambah ke tolak duit tu. Okay. Cash flow tu nak tambah ke nak tolak. So, tengok dia punya journal entry. Okay. Accounts payable. Accounts payable kurang. Decrease. Duit keluar. Tolak. Nampak? Decrease. Duit keluar, tolak. Jangan main hentam kromo je kat sini. Dekat sini memang ni Okay. Dia sama ada buat sini positif 4,200. Dekat sini increase. So tak ada markah ya kelas. Kosong. Sia-sia je jawapan betul ni. Tambah 4,200. Dekat sini you buat increase. So tak ada markah. Okay. Boleh? Dah settle, dapat cash generated from operation. So format ni, you boleh study sendiri. You all dah aware the format. Okay, next. Kita tambah balik. Kita tolak dengan interest paid. Yang atas tadi. Kalau finance cost, boleh juga finance cost. Kat sini boleh juga tulis finance cost. Tak ada masalah. 80. Tak ditambah tadi. Tolak balik kat sini. Kenapa tambah finance cost kat sini? Sebab reversing. Expenses kena tambah. Okay, and then tolak balik. Tax paid. Pergi dekat ledger, account tax. Where is account tax? Okay, tax. Okay, ni debit tax paid, taxation payable ataupun account tax, credit cash. Ni debit tax, credit cash. Cash tolak, cash kurang, duit keluar. Okay, so tolak. Nampak dapat tolak. Bukannya hafal tapi kena faham kenapa tolak dekat situ. Okay, boleh? And then you put total daripada atas ni 31920 plus tolak semua. Dapat nilai 4770. Settle operating activities. Next, we move on to investing. Okay, so investing, acquisition of property. Yang ni kena faham lah. You kena tahu apakah elemen dalam cash flow from investing activities. Apa transaction yang betul ada? acquisition, disposal, dividend receipt dan juga acquisition of subsidiary. Yang ni kena tahu apa transaction that should be located under atau should be disclosed or presented under investing activities. Ni acquisition of property. Okay. Pertama acquisition of property. Tengok je PPE. Masa ni kita transfer yang cash tadi tu. Okay, property tengok. Debit property, credit cash. 27,400. Acquisition, tolak. Yang ni pun ada yang salah kadang-kadang tu. Sepatutnya dapat 25/25 ya. Markah kat sini. Alright, disposal of property. Ni tak ada. Ini adalah cash. Dekat information number 3 tadi. Debit bank 10.5. Okay, masuk kat sini. Proceed from disposal. One additional information number 3. Debit bank. Belum rekod lagi. Okay, next. Dividend received from associate. Pergi kat account associate, investment in associate. Ada more cash kat sini. Dividend received. Debit cash, credit investment in associate. 1,000. Okay. Alright. Acquisition of subsidiary. If some of you still remember where I give you some lecture tadi about acquisition of subsidiary and associate, apa beza dia? Kalau acquisition ataupun disposal of associate, kita ambil whatever figure yang dia bagi. Okay. Berapa amount cash keluar, berapa amount proceed from disposal. But for subsidiary, kita kena ambil net cash flow. Net cash flow. Kenapa net cash flow? Sebab okay, waktu dia invest tadi, okay, waktu invest, information number 5. Remember? Pakai tekak saya. Information number 5. Debit investment 18 million. Credit ordinary share capital 15 million. Credit bank 3 million. Betul? Alright. Eden bayar kepada Min 3 million. Part of dia punya CT dia. 3 million. Tetapi pada masa yang sama, okay, pada yang masa sama, waktu dia acquired asset and liability of Min ada duit baki di bank sebanyak 1,400. Sebenarnya dia kontra lah kat situ. Sebenarnya Eden bukannya bayar 3,000. Sebab dia bayar 3,000, dia dapat balik 1,400. Maknanya perbezaan dia, itulah amount yang dia keluar untuk dia acquired Min. Okay, kena kontra dengan dapatkan net. Tadi amount duit yang dia bayar, ini duit yang dia terima from the acquisition. So kita kontra. So dapatlah nilai kat sini. Net 1,600. Duit acquisition. Duit keluar ni, kenapa keluar? Journal entry tadi kata credit bank. Okay. Next. Cash flow, total dapat negatif. Yang ni, nak total ni kena guna signage, ikut signage. Kalau negatif tolak 27,400, maknanya negatif 27,400 plus tolak dengan 1,600. Okay, kita tengok signage dia. Sebab nilai kat sini can be positive, can be negative. Sebab positif indicate cash inflow, negative indicate cash outflow. Okay, from financing, okay. Mana bagi account cash yang kita belum take note. Okay, ordinary share capital. Okay, debit cash, credit ordinary share capital. Okay, debit cash, so duit positif. Cash, duit inflow. Dividend paid dekat account NCI. Okay, dividend paid, duit keluar. Tengok dekat NCI, perbezaan cash dia kat situ. Dividend paid by holding, yang ni saya nak tunjuk. Okay, dividend paid by holding 5,000. Daripada account mana kelas? Daripada account retained earnings. Betul? Betul? Betul kelas? Okay. So, Saya nak relate balik dengan soalan. Sekiranya soalan bagi you all Sochi. Ada Sochi? Ada Sochi? Ada ni Sochi. Saya tak discuss pun pasal Sochi tadi. Okay? Kalau soalan dia bagi Sochi, sebab soalan might be provide to you 2 statement ataupun 3 statement. 2 statement maknanya Sopi dan Soper sahaja. 3 statement means Sopi, Soper and Sochi. Kalau ada Sochi, tak perlu prepare T account of retained earnings. Kenapa? Dah ada dah jawapan kat sini. Dividend paid. Sama tak? Sama. Okay, dah bagi dah. Tak payah lagi prepare ledger tadi. T account tadi. Okay, saya tunjuk dulu. Baru saya tunjuk. Perlu ke tak perlu? Tengok kepada keperluan. Okay, tadi kalau saya kata ni tu ambil kat sini kan nanti tak buat pula nanti tiba-tiba soalan bagi 2. Tertinggal pula satu item. Okay, so buat dulu semua. Tapi you tahu dah, kalau ada Sochi, tak perlu. You can skip account retain earning. Okay, boleh? Alright. So, total dapat ni. Bila total ni dapatlah amount dia. Dapat 3 total activity tadi. 47,720 plus dengan negatif 500 plus dengan negatif 11,720 you akan dapat 18,500. Kalau kat sini positif jangan lupa adjust kat sini increase. Kalau sini betul, sini salah. Dia mesti dua-dua betul. Kalau sini negatif, kat sini mesti decrease. Tolong ingat adjust kat sini. Okay? Lepas tu tengok balik soalan tadi saya kata yang cash ataupun cash equivalent kita tak payah prepare. Inilah answer kita. So nilainya kita akan ambil transfer dekat cash flow yang kita prepare. Opening and closing. Ni jawapan kita 20,500. So opening cash flow at the beginning 2,000 tahun 2016. Dan jawapan kita sama, mesti sama dengan yang closing 20,500. Boleh? Okay, boleh kelas? So, kalau working, kalau tak nak buat ledger, buat working kat sini pun boleh, tak ada masalah. Tapi make sure betul. Okay? So, ni ledger saya tunjuk full, complete ledger. Nanti kalau dah pandai, dah tahu, okay, buka mana yang perlu sahaja. Okay? Sebab you kena tahu markah hanya di sini. Di sini kelas. Di sini. Tak ada markah dekat ledger. Okay. Kalau let's say figure you salah kat sini. Okay, betul ni decrease in inventory. Sebab tu saya perlu juga you kena kat ledger. Sebab dia boleh bantu sikit-sikit bagi markah tambahan. Decrease in inventory contohnya. Patutnya 4,200 you buat kat sini amount dia adalah you buat mungkin 4,000 dan kita akan refer kepada ledger you. Okay, so mana yang salah tu jadi dapatlah. Kalau sini markah kat sini 2 tick, dapatlah 1 tick. Sebab you kena faham kelas, markah kat sini representing ledger. Contoh ledger tadi nak tunjuk kat you all. Macam PPE ni dekat PPE akan ada 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tick. Ada yang 7 tick. Bergantung kepada komprehensif tak komprehensif item dalam ledger dia. Okay? Sebab tu saya kata ledger ni working kena tunjuk. Kalau working nak buat dalam part of cash flow ataupun yang betul ledger. Terpulang. Okay? So jangan bercita-cita tinggi buat ledger dulu ni. Buat cantik tak payah. Congak-congak je, draw je, masukkan figure. Okay? Buatlah cepat-cepat. Lepas tu, kau boleh buat kerangka siap-siap dah. Buat kerangka ni. Contohnya, buat tajuk atas, okay, consolidated statement of cash flow. Yang 3 yang pertama ni dah ada dah, ekor dah ada dah. Masukkan dulu figure ni. Ini ada markah ni. Okay, masukkan dulu figure yang daripada Shopee tadi. Okay. Yang lain tu slowly you akan transfer. Sikit ada masa lah. Okay. At least adalah markah. Penat is normal ya. Final assessment soalan cash flow dapat kosong is normal. Normal, either you memang tak sempat sampai question number 2, memang tak ada langsung question number 2 yang dijawab, ataupun dijawab ledger sahaja pun kosong. Okay. Buat ledger lama sangat memikir ni. Sebab kenapa? Sebab masa spend terlalu lama dekat soalan 1. Okay. So saya dah cakap lah soalan 1 nampak macam senang. Tapi bila jawab macam susah pula. Macam tu lah, lebih kurang. Okay. Bila nampak soalan tu macam senang. Tapi bila jawab rasa macam susah. Okay. Itu soalan untuk this semester. Sebab saya yang buat soalan kan. So saya yang ambil resource person. Itu je lah pesanan saya. So jangan pandang ringan. Nampak soalan macam simple. Okay. Senang. Adjustment tak banyak. Okay. In terms of adjustment macam simple. Tapi bila nak menjawab. Okay. Rasa macam betul ke? Betul ke? Mulalah tanya kanan, kiri, atas, bawah. Okay, ada soalan? Ada? So jangan lupa February 2021 your homework. Okay. Alright.